to have a brainstorming activity, and we will tackle the human rights, the concept of human right, and the Article 3 or the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So first, let us discuss first what is the concept of the human rights. So according to my research sa Google, uh, human rights or the concept of human rights talks about so these are the rights inherent to all human beings regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any status. So walang pinipilit. So lahat ng tao is entitled to their own rights. So human rights include the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education, and many more. So everyone is entitled to these rights, sabi ko nga kanina, and without any discrimination. So who has a responsibility to protect human rights? So, human rights connect us to each other through a shared set of rights and responsibility. So, a person's ability to enjoy their human rights depends on other people respecting those rights. So, this means that human rights involve responsibility and duties towards other people and community. So individuals have the responsibility to ensure that they exercise their rights with consideration for rights of others. So for example, when someone uses their right to freedom of speech, they should do they should do so without interfering with someone else's right to privacy. So kahit tayo ay may rights sa entitled tayo ng sarili nating speech, opinion, dapat po respetuhin din natin yung privacy ng isang tao. So parang may limit pa rin po. So government have a particular responsibility also to ensure that people are able to enjoy their rights. So they are required to establish and maintain laws and services that enable people to enjoy a life in which their rights are respected and protected. So for example is the right to education. So it says that everyone is entitled to a good education. So this means that government have an obligation to provide good quality education, facilities, and services to their people, especially to those students, ay sa ating mga estudyante. So whether or not government actually do this, it is generally accepted that this is the government responsibility and people can call them to account if they fail to respect or protect their basic human rights. So ito yung responsibility ng government na bigyan tayo ng quality education. So kaya nga po may DepEd, may CHED to provide those rights. So ano ba yung mga kino-cover ng human rights? So human rights cover virtually every area of human activity. So they include civil and political rights, which refer to a person's rights to take part in the civil and political life of their community without discrimination or oppression. So these include rights and freedoms such as the right to vote, the right to privacy, freedom of speech, and freedom from torture sa mga kanina. So that's my discussion and my part, my idea about the concept of human rights. So another idea, classmates?
Okay po. So, the concept of human rights are the fundamental rights and freedoms that every individual is entitled to simply by virtue of being human. So, these rights are considered universal, meaning they apply to every person regardless of their race, nationality, gender, religion, or any other characteristic. So, the concept of human rights has been enshrined in various international documents such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights adopted by the United Nations in 1948. So, human rights are based on the idea that all individuals possess inherent dignity and worth, and as such, they are entitled to certain protection and opportunities to live a fulfilling and dignified life. So, these rights include the civil and political rights such as the right to life, liberty, and security, as well as the economic, the social, and the cultural rights, such as the rights to education, healthcare, and adequate living standard. So, yun po yung concept of rights para sa akin.
So I think naibigay na po natin yung konsepto o yung definition ng human rights. So let's go to the next topic, which is the Article 3 or the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So now let us discuss the Article 3 or the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So ang Article 3 o Bill of Rights ng Philippine Constitution ay ito yung mga kalipunan o talaan o buod ng mga karapatang naayon sa batas. So, maaari itong isang pahayag ng mga karapatan ng isang klase o uri ng mga tao. So, meron itong hanggang Section 22 ito na madidiscuss o ang katala dito, yung ano ba yung mga karapatang pantao na dapat matamasa ng isang citizen, ng isang bansa o ng isang estado. So, ano ba yung significance ng Bill of Rights? Particularly sa ating mga citizen. So, its significance is to know the things you are entitled to against any government on earth, general or particular, and what no government should refuse or rest on inference. So, nakapaloob dito na kailangan natin itong pag-aralan ng sagan maging aware tayo na tayo ay malaya. We are entitled with our own rights na dapat tayo ay hindi malimitahan sa ating mga karapatan bilang isang individual, bilang isang citizen, at bilang isang tao. So, ang unang section, ang tinatalakay dito is the right to life, right to own property, and liberty. So, ang section 2 naman ay nakapaloob dito is the right to be secured from any unreasonable searches and seizures. So ito, so bigla na siyang nilumulog si tubaloy ninyo na may kakastak ito mga dokumento. Bawal puan. Ako po kita rights na pwedeng dili pa hintulutan ng mga arugan na action. So, dapat bago sila magluo kung bago kita putpulan sa mga unang dokumento hinahanap sa baluyta, kaya po dapat ako sila warrant of arrest. So ano warrant of arrest? Amo the order in writing signed by a judge stating that a person should be arrested. So pag ikaw tinawan sa search warrant, ibig sabihin hanapan sa ebidensya na kaya po ni kang arestuhon, dahil ka ngayon ang gahasa, dahil ka ngayon ang naban, dahil ka ngayon nakatikpak. Usad pa is search warrant. Ay, ato pa na warrant of arrest, nasala naman ako. Adi pala na warrant of arrest. Amo di so, iniluwas na ka, judge, na dapat arestuhon na ka, na baka nakatikpaki ka, na baka na nabani ka, or else, o baka ako ka na-violate sa dilota. So, another is a search warrant. So, kung sinasabi ko kanina na napagbaliktad ko. So, an order in writing signed by the judge stating for a search. So, pag ikaw pinabaydan sa search warrant, kung ka magiginibukan, lalot pirmado yan ka, judge, nasa batasan. So, dapat pahintutan mo silang mag-search, tanganing mag-prove na innocente ka, o mag-prove na guilty ka, o suspect talaga, o tama suspect siya nila na ikaw sa suspect sa to krimen na ginibo mo sa unuman na action na nag-violate sa law. So, Section 3, right of privacy. Section 4 tackles the right of speech. Section 5 tackles the right to choose freely a religion. So parang nga self-entitlement. Dapat na bawat individual, bawat tao, ako karapatan sa kanya-kanyang privacy. Ako karapatan na magpahayag sa diri ng opinion tungkol sa mga bagay-bagay o sa mga issues. Pwede man sirang magpili, ako sirang karapatan, malaya sirang magpili sa gusto nirang religion. At dawa si Isay, diri pwede ka na kumontra, dawa may ito na politiko, dawa man ito na kung sa'yo may napun siya pilatuton. So Section 6, right to travel and seek a safe place to live. Karapatan tayan, kung asal, kunyari siniburabot, sinisityo na mo, kadakul ka di chismosa. Sumawan, ako ko karapatan na mag-migrate sa ibang lugar kung sari ako peace of mind. Section 7, the right of the people to information. Ako kita right na ma-inform sa mga bagay-bagay. Tauno, citizen kita. Right. Ako kita ma-inform kita sa mga ayuda. Kita nga ni mga estudyante, baad na kitang pauno. Kung sari kakalap sa ako namin educational assistance, pwedeng mapag-applyan na scholarship. Ako kita right na may isa ng mga bagay-bagay naan, lalot na kung publican for public information and for public use. So next is section 8, the right of the people to form a groups. Agkuka karapatan na mag-form sa union. Nguwan, kung kung sa tingin yung empleyado baga ka, na-violate ka to employer mo, ka to kumpanya sa rights mo, pwede kang mag-iwa sa union, mag-will ka mo, mag-iwa ka mo sa rally. Para ipaglaban sa right ninyo as employee. So section 9, private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. So, syempre, alam naman na, kunyari baga, private property mo yan aragaan tinugroup pa kasan, o trespassing ka, mag-isip, tawa ka na iko, tugroup sa diyan, tugroup sa baloy, dito na isip, labag na palanan sa batas. Pero, ang right at privacy, parang synonymous sa to, nakaraang act, sa to, nakaraang section, na so, karapatan ta na mag-ako privacy. So section 10, no law impairing the obligation of contract shall be passed. Section 11, right to have a free access to the court. Yeah, so intindido ta naman na, napaka-basic naman kadi. Sense of, common sense. Maintindihan na di. Section 12, right to remain silent. O syempre, karapatan mo yan. Taba kasi ikaw up, iba na tabi kung up mo. Dahil naman pala just, dahil punang align sa truth. Six na kang up. Kung nagamit pa to against sa imo. Ikaw nga takachismosa mo. Dapat ikang kasuwan. Tayo, kung gusto na yan. Remain silent, lalo na ko, for example, na David nga is, for example sa nadi mga nabed mo nga naginuraan nga ni Ali si RG ako nga sa tawong nabayad at to mga inuha na nga pulis ikaw nga nabayad mo nga ko sa ginuraan ay naripo karapatan mo yan diri mag-muab o sabihin sa nabayad mo pero dapat i-face mo consequences kan taba ka makadamay ikasan isip ko na agot talaga consequences di mo sasabi sa matodi lalo na pag-krimen na nabayad mo. So section 13, right against the use of force, torture, violence, threat, or intimidation. So alangan man na sige sa nakita right tatabi na protektahan sa pangungulog sa ima na tao na gusto na sige kulga depende kung manhidi ka baka sa love o baka si RG iton na daw makulgan ba sa ngaran sa love kaya niyang maapakan na rights niya pero ako bilang tatawo daw sa manuman ito na aspeto sa pamumuhay aspeto sa pagiging tao ako ko ma-violate at ma-abuse ang rights ko as individual. Section 14, right to undergo the process of law. Section 15, right to habeas corpus. So, Section 16, right to a speedy deposition of cases tungkol sa mga jurisdiction. Section 17, right against self-incrimination. Section 18, right against illegal detention by reason of political beliefs and aspiration. O lang manara ko punikasan, umiling ang di ngayon sa di ngayon kabikulan, ngamin tibledi. Huwan, nira ko pikata, PPM ka. O di an pwede, ako kita political freedom to choose our own leaders. Okay? Di an pwede, rights tayo, nakapaluban si Article 3 or the Bill of Rights of the Philippine Constitution. So Section 19, right against excessive fines. Isi mo naman ito multa. Naiko, kalapos. At tupalan, siksa kita pabayad, sige kita pamulta. Daman nadadagusan. Excessive fines bagayan. Section 20, no person shall be imprisoned for debt or non-payment of a full tax. Adi, di ninyo pili pakulong nga uda-utang. Kaya ate Princess Kate, di mo ko may papakulong. Hindi pwede. Section 20, rights tayan, bawal ipakulong sa tao nagkakautang. Amoy nakabutang sabi. No person shall be imprisoned for debt or non-payment of a full tax. Section 21, no person shall be twice put in jeopardy of punishment for the same offense. So, pagkakaintindi ko man ka, kunyari ba ka, um, so bawali kang masintensyahan yata adi for the same if ako jeopardy, di ako familiar sa word na. Eh, familiar ako, pero di ko na kaya nagrurumruman. So, paki-search na lang. I think ipunta din pagtunan sa attention in the section 21 na din. No person shall be twice put in a jeopardy or punishment for the same offense. Siguro, pwede kang, pwede man kaya kita dapat kagibo sa mga sala. Kaya di naman pwedeng sabihin na bawal kitang i-punish sa darwang kriminal na gibuta. Parang kalabos na sa weeks. Section 22, the last, no ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted. Okay? So, at the section 20 to 22, dapat mag-go further research kita kadita. Medyo unfamiliar kita sa ating mga words na ini. But with this discussion, sana nagkaroon na kita sa katikot ideas, sa mga ideas about the concept of human rights, about the Article 3 of the Philippine Constitutions or the Bill of Rights. So, we have the conclusion. So, the Bill of Rights is composed of 22 sections, sabi ko nga kanina. So, it provides legal documentation of a citizen's right. Sabi ko rin kanina, nakapaloob dito yung mga rights o karapatan ng isang citizen. So, last, it covers the basic rights and liberties of people of the Philippines. So, nakapaloob din dito, sabi ko rin yung mga karapatan at yung kalayaan ng mga Filipino people dito sa Republika ng Pilipinas. So yun lamang po. I hope na meron tayong natutunan ngayong mga brainstorming activity. It was a fun discussion. Thank you very much and good night.